What if you had a single powerful hub to organize your entire life in Notion? Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Power of Habits. I'm Baptiste, engineer and Notion template creator, and in this video we are going to create the ultimate personal dashboard from scratch. Together we'll create an integrated system featuring a central database for your tasks and projects with multiple powerful views, a habit tracker to lock in your daily routine, and dedicated spaces for your goals and notes. This isn't just a template, it's an entire workflow designed to make you more organized and productive than ever. I will be guiding you through every single step of the creation so that you can follow along easily. Let's go. We are now in Notion. The first thing you need to do is to create a new blank page like this one and rename it for personal dashboard. You can change as well the icon by clicking on add an icon. Here I'm going to put the Notion logo, and let's click on the three dots at the top right corner of the window, and let's put our page in full width so that we have enough space for all our four databases. So here let's create the first database. So you click on the new empty block and you type /database. It will be a database for our tasks and projects. So here we have a proposal for all the different views for a database, and let's select a calendar view and we can rename it for tasks and PD for personal dashboard so that we know it's this database. Here we can click on the blue arrow icon at the top right corner of this database and create a new template so that all the tasks we are going to create later on, it will respect this layout. So you can rename it for new task. You can put an icon as well. I like for templates to put some sparkles so that I know that it's a freshly created page. So here for the date, we can keep this date property. We can click on it and edit property and put it as a short date. For the tax property, let's delete it and let's add a property. So you click on add a property, and here let's create a status property. So here for all our tasks, we can set the status to not started, in progress, or done. Let's add another property. Here it will be a select property and it will be the priority of the task. So rename it, and you can change the icon. Me, for priorities, I put an exclamation mark, and here we are going to create our different fields for a priority. So the priority can be high, it can be medium, or it can be low priority. Let's change the colors of our fields. So you click on the priority property, then edit property, and here you can rearrange all the fields, and you can change the color of your fields by just clicking on it. So here medium, it will be yellow, and for low it will be blue. Great. As it's a template, we are not going to select anything because we don't want the priority to be set by default. So let's delete this, and we have all our properties that are created. You can click on customize layout to rearrange and to make it look better. So if you click on the heading, then you can pin any important priority or any priorities that you want to get the information really quickly. So here, let's pin the date property, and let's add a new group for the status, because the status is super important. So let's put it between the heading and the main property group. And here you can click on apply to all pages to apply the changes, and it looks really nice. So here, let's get out of here and let's click once again on this blue arrow icon and put this template as a default template, so that when here I will be creating a new item, a new task, it will be by default this template. So here it's a new task. So I will add around 5 tasks for the example and for the videos, and I come back to you. Great, I've just created my 5 tasks, but however, as you can see, we cannot really see any property that is displayed. So to change this, you can click on settings, then you go in property visibility, and you can make any property visible on your database. So here, let's add the date, the priority, and as well the status, but let's put the status between date and priority, and it looks like this. So it's super cool. We can see that yesterday we've done all our tasks, that the task 1 is done for today, that we are currently doing the task 2, and that the task 3 from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. is not started and not important. So right now, let's create a new database for our project. So you click at the right of the name of this first database, and you click on add a new view. And this is a new feature in Notion. You can now add a new data source or add multiple data sources within the same structure of database. So here we'll have our tasks database and we'll have our projects database from the other side. So add a new data source, and let's rename it for projects PD. And here, if you click on the name of the view, you can rename it. So here we want to rename it for projects, and let's change the icon for a rocket. Right now it's displayed as a table, so to display it as something else, you click on settings, then layout, and you can display it as a map, as feed, as chart, as a calendar, as a board. But right now I want to display it as a gallery. Great. So once again, let's click on the blue arrow icon at the top right of this database, then new template, and here it will be for a new project. So it's the same process. We are going to put a status for this page, for this template. So here we are going to put a date. It can be a long date, and let's put as well the main property, which is the relation. So it will link all our tasks to all our projects. So if you have tasks that belong to a project, it will be displayed and all the way around. So here, let's create a relation property, and let's select our first database, our tasks PD database. Let's make it as a two-way relation. So if we click on any of our tasks, we will see to whose project it belongs. And if we click on any of our projects, we'll see all the related, all the linked tasks in this project. So here, two-way relation, add a relation. And here, as you can see, we can just add any of our tasks. Here, if you click on this 3 dots, you can customize the shown property, and you can show more properties to know better about your tasks, to get more information about your tasks, and it will enable you to identify your tasks, because sometimes you may have some tasks that have simply the same name or that you need to do every single day. So here it's displayed like this. It's super great and will help us in the future. So let's add a last property, which will be a completion formula. So it will display a progress bar, and we'll be able to see the completion of all our different projects according to whether the project's tasks are done or not done yet. So here, add the property. So here it's a formula. It's a quite simple formula, and it's a super cool formula to learn as a beginner or intermediate on Notion. Let's change the icon for this one. And right now you click on the field of the completion property, and let's create the formula all together. So first we are going to select our tasks database. Here we are going to filter it, and we want only an array that contains, that has all the tasks that are done where current. So you need to type current, and after the property that you want to filter with. So here we want to filter with the status, and so where it is equal to done. So we will have an array, a list of all our tasks where that are already done. So here there are no outputs because there are no related or linked page or tasks. But if we do it here, it will be displayed as this task. So here we want the length. So we want to know how many tasks are done for this project, and we are going to divide it by the total amount of tasks that are related to this project. So you can just copy paste the first part of this formula, and you just remove the filter so that it will calculate the length of just all our tasks. So how many tasks we have for this project. So here we are, and here it's 1 because there is only one task that is related to this project, and this task is down. So here right now, as it's a template, we can just remove the relation, and as the first time we are going to customize the layout, let's pin the date and the status, and let's put the completion apart this formula. All right. So how does it look? Here it's still named tasks PD. So you can click on it, edit property, and yeah, let's just rename it for tasks. So you can change the icon as well for a check mark. I like to put a check mark, and it just looks super great for the moment. Right now, let's set it as a default. Don't forget this. I often forget it, but it's super important and will save you some time. You don't want to create, when you create a new project, to have this empty and blank template. So you want your template that you've just created. So here, if we click on create a new page, we'll have this new page as we've set in the template section. So here, let's just name it for project 1. You can change the icon corresponding to your project. Let's say it's the creation of a video, for example. You can put the date. So here we want a start date and end date. So you activate the toggle on for the end date. So we can keep it as a full date, or you can keep it as a short date. You can put as well the time. However, for projects, it's a bit less relevant. And right now we can add, for example, the tasks 1, 2, and 3 in this project. And here our formula gives us 33%, but it's not displayed as percent. So you click on the property, then number format, and you select a percent. Here we are, and we want 0 decimal. So our completion is 33%. We've done 1 task out of 3. So if you click again on edit property, you can put it as a bar, and it's really great. It's displayed in big, and it's really visual for you to track the progress of your project. So here we have only the page content that is displayed, and to get rid of it, you go in settings after this layout, and here we want no card preview. However, we want to show a few properties. So we can show the date, which is important, the status. Let's not display the tasks, but we can display the completion. So for our first project, we have all the informations. Let's create the project 2. All right, it can be a trip, for example. Longer projects, tasks 4 and 5. And it's 100% because it's yesterday's tasks that I've done. Simple. It's as simple as this. And we can put the project status as done. And here we can put it as in progress. I will surely do, or I think I have already done the video about formulas, but you can create also as well a formula property to automatically have this status displayed, the right status displayed according to the completion of your formulas. It looks like a bit the formula of the completion, and you can do it as well, but let's do it manually for this video. Otherwise, it will last really long. So here we are, we have our calendar view. We can click on this view and we can duplicate this view. Let's reposition it here, and I want here a timeline view. So here you click in settings, layout, and timeline. For projects, it's really cool, and you can group it. So settings, group, you can group it by your projects. So here we have our project 1, project 2, and I want to also see all my tasks that are not linked or related to a given project. And by just dragging the bars, the tasks, you can change the date, the start date. So oftenly for a project timeline, it will look like a bit like this. So here it's longer tasks. It's not oftenly 1 day tasks. And if you plan some big projects or you have some long-term projects, it will help you visualize across the time, through the time, all your tasks. So it's super convenient. Let's rename it for timeline. Let's add the timeline icon. Here we are, and let's create a last view for this database, which will be, of course, today's task. So it will display all the tasks we have to get done today. So here you can click again on the calendar view. Firstly, let's rename it for only calendar. And right now we are going to duplicate it once again. And here, let's rename it for today. Let's change the icon. Let's put it in the first position, as it's really important. And for today's task, I want the layout to be a list view here. And the property that will be visible will be not the date, as it will be today. We can put as visible the status and the priority. So here we are, but I want the status to be in first, and I will show you a trick. For any status property, you can also display it as a checkbox. So you go in your settings. Once again, a lot of the action in Notion will happen in the settings, and it's really important for you to master this in order to master Notion and to be more organized. And so you click in Edit Properties, you can click in your status property, and you can display it as a checkbox. It's more visual, and for me, it's more convenient. So here, let's say it's the beginning of the day, you've done nothing yet, and here you will just check your tasks throughout the day when you've done one task. So here, it's not filter, so we have all our tasks. So let's click on the filter, and we will add a filter according to the date. So we want it to be today. However, we don't want only 1 day tasks that are only within the day, but we want all the tasks that may be ongoing or longer than 1 day. So the start date is on or before. And let's add a new filter. So here we create an advanced filter. So here add a filter rule. So filter rule, and the date and date is on or after today. Let's see how it looks. So tasks 1 and 4, let's check in our timeline. So here, indeed, we have our tasks 1 and 4. If we reposition, for example, task 3 to only today, let's have a look. It works perfectly. We have all our ongoing tasks and our today's tasks. So it's super, super great. So this is it for our tasks and projects database. It just looks super great and it's super convenient to use. I personally use it for my tasks and projects every single day, and it cannot be better. So right now we can hide the data source titles, and we can create a call out to make it more visually appealing. So here is our callout. Let's reposition it. We can, for our task callout, we can put a check mark, yes, and tasks. I want it to be displayed as a heading. So for it, you type slash and heading. And I want the heading size 2, tasks, and projects. Great, super. Let's save this filter for everyone. And this is it for our first database. Right now, we are going to create the habit database, and same process. Here we can just duplicate this callout. So you can select the block and then Control D, and here it will be habits. So you will be able within the same page, the same template, to control your tasks and to check your habits, and it's super convenient. So for habits, what kind of icon we can put? Whatever. So here it can be great or fire for the streaks, and here slash database once again. And we want it as a gallery view. So here habits, personal dashboard. Great. Once again, the blue arrow icon. Let's create a new template. We can name it simply Add Today, so that the name of today's habit page will have today's date, will be today's date. So here, let's delete those two properties. There are always default properties when you create a new template. So here, of course, there will be a date. There will be as well all our properties for our habits. So this is a checkbox property. So where is checkbox? Just right here. And we are going to create this type of thing of property for every single of our habit. So here we are just going to create 2 habits for the example and for the video. However, you can repeat the process to create as many habits you want, and here I will be able to check it once they are done. So here it is, and once again, let's add a property, and it will be a formula, and it will be the completion of the day, how many habits we've done, we've completed. So here, completion. The formula is quite simple as well, a bit longer. However, it's totally feasible at all levels on Notion. Let's click on the formula, and here we are going to use the min function. And within the min function, we are going to put a series of ifs. So as many ifs as you have habits. So if the habit 1 is true or is checked as its checkbox, it will be a 1, and otherwise it will be a 0. So we can copy this first field, this first if, and add it for other habits within the min function. And here, instead of selecting the habit 1, we are going to select the habit 2. And here the habit 3. All right, it's 0, but right now I'm going to add a round function to all of it so that we don't have a lot of figures after the comma. So here, and the trick is to multiply it by 100 and after to divide it by 100. So it should look great. It looks super great here. Let's edit the property. Let's put it as a progress bar, and let's put the number in percent. You will do this a lot of time. And let's not check it as it's a template, but we can customize the layout the same way as we've done with the previous database, and we can pin the date. We can put apart the completion, and it looks super great. Let's put the completion at the end. apply to all pages. And here we are. The thing to never forget is to set it as default, so for all the views. And right now we can hide this database title. So here let's just put gallery, or let's create a view that will be the last 5 days for our habits. So here, all right, we can put this icon. And if you create a new page, it will create today's habits. However, there are the same default settings. So the page's content is displayed. So you go in settings, layout, and page content. You don't want to see it. However, you want to see some other properties. So here we want to see not necessarily the date, as it will be in the habits page name. However, we want to see all our habits. So if you have more habits, you should display them all. And after, I want to see the completion. So every day when I arrive on my personal dashboard, I will check my habits and I will see my completion. And I would be able even to create a chart to see my progress all of the time. So here we've created for today. We can create it for yesterday. And I'm going to show you something super nice. So at yesterday, all right, so here yesterday, and here it's displayed as today's habits in first. So if you go in settings, and we can sort it by the date, and I want it, does it work? Let's not use the sort. All right, I think I've guessed what's the problem. So here it's 2 days, and here it's named yesterday, but it's not yesterday's date. So here we are. So here, if we go back to filter, all right, you can just filter as ascending. Great. So it didn't set up properly. Ascending, great, safe for everyone. And let's hide this. So here yesterday, I'm going to create, so here it will be before yesterday. So before yesterday was Friday. So last Friday, November 21st. So it's not last Friday, but this Friday. Or at Friday. I always get confused. So yeah, it's at Friday. Great. So Friday, yesterday, today, we have 3 habit days. And as it's only the last 5 days, let's go in filters. We want to filter by the date. And here is this past. So here it will be this past 5 days, as simple as this. You can also create a view that will be only today's habits. However, the length of this database is a bit too long to only display today's habits. So let's save it for everyone. Let's hide this. We never want to see filters or sorts or anything like this. And it's super cool. We can click on the view and we can duplicate this view, and here it will be, for example, it can be history, and here we can put here this icon, and the layout will be a table, and we will be able to see all our habits. However, here the sorting settings is not right, so here it should be descending, and you can just drag and drop the completion at the end, save for everyone. And here you have a table with all your habits. Do we want to see the date? Not necessarily. However, let's keep it. You can rearrange the length of any column, and here we have our completion. If you don't like progress bars for this view, you can change as well any settings when you switch the view. It will not change the settings for another view. So here, let's put it as a ring. It's a way more visually acceptable and it looks way better. Here, the trick is to make really narrow columns for all your habits and to put a relevant icon according to your habit. So if your habit 1 is wake up at 8 a.m., you just put a clock here. If your habit is 10,000 steps or cold shower, let's put some shower icon, and here are 10,000 steps. So just by seeing the icon, you will be able to check it and you don't have to display the whole text, especially if you have more than 3 habits. So let's hide it and let's remove this filter because we want the history, the total history of your habits and the total progress. So delete filter, and here, so let's hide, let's save it for everyone. And here, if you click on any of the property or on a formula in this case, you can calculate as well for the whole column something. So here we want the average, so we'll have our average completion. So how great we did. So if you filter for the last month, this view, you will have your average completion for the last month. Here we could as well display it, however, it's not a table, so you don't have the feature, but we could calculate it in another view, for example. So it looks super great. We've completed 55% of our habits over the last 3 days, so it's a great metrics. Let's create the 2 last databases. It will be much faster. So the first one will be a database for the notes and the second one for your goals. So it will be 2 list databases. So here /database. Once again, we have all the different views. However, I want a list view. So it's the same process again and again. So you will get used to, and it's really formative. You will learn a lot about Notion doing this. So here, it's our notes PD. Great. And I think let's have a look. So settings, layout, it's already a list. So it already looks great. And we can just drag and drop it at the right of our first database. So we are going to rearrange it. So from one side, we will have our tasks and projects and habits databases. And from the other, they will be a bit smaller because they will be less important than the tasks and habits. We'll have our notes and our goals. So here we are. Let's put all within the same column. We can take an empty block and just drag and drop it to create a space. And after, you can rearrange the length of your databases. I'm doing this same layout for all my templates and for all the templates I've created. It works super well and people are really satisfied with this. We can just duplicate this callout, then slide it here, and here we want our notes. So let's add a proper icon for this, a proper emoji this time. And here we can as well create a new template. So here it will be a new note. Once again, sparkles, delete. No, we can keep created. It's really nice. However, let's edit it, and we don't want the time of the creation. So here, edit property, time format. All right, let's recreate it all. It will be easier. So here we want a date first. What could we add for some notes, and a status, whether it's a draft, whether the notes is ongoing or completed. So once again, new property, status, not started, in progress, or done. All right, it fits me. Let's change the icon as well. For where is the one? Here we are. Once again, we can change the layout, always pin the dates. It's often the most important property in any page, and we have our status after this. And here for your note, you will be able to type the content of your note just right here to set it as in progress and have the date created. Here we are. Let's put it as not started, and let's have a look how it looks. Don't forget to put it as default for all the views. And if we create a new page, it will be a new note, really great. Settings, property. We want to see the status and to be able to change it, to modify it. And here we can access our note. So it's displayed on the side. You can change the display option, or you can put it in full width by clicking here. And here you will be able to write your note and to fully focus on your notes and your notes only. You can also perfectly click on the database, on the notes database, to see your whole notes. And here is just a dashboard. So it's a visualization of your databases. Great. Right now, let's click on the three dots and hide this, this, and let's just rename it for list. It looks super great. New note. So note number 1, let's change the icon. It can be about, I don't know, about this. It's in progress. Here you can minimize to not see the settings or expand it to be able to access it easier. However, you can always access it with the settings icon that is always on display, and you can change everything from here. Add a new note. Here it's a note 2. You can rename the note and add another icon. Just from this view, you don't need to click on the note, then go back to your personal dashboard. You will save a bit of time with this trick, and here we can say that this one is done. We could display as well the date. However, this it's not relevant, or it could be for you, so feel free to add it by your own. And here after this, it will be some goals. So we are going to create a database for your goals. So here we can add the pin emoji. Here we are. Let's put it here, and we click on the new empty block and /database list view goals PD. All right, templates. Let's check if we set as default here, and new template, new goal. All right, and for a goal, we just need some checkboxes. It's as simple as this. You can add always more properties, and to make it more precise, more full. But for the video, let's not add too many properties, and let's focus on the core content. That is our personal dashboard. So you will have a raw idea of how you should do it, and after you can always improve your personal dashboard by your own and customize it how you like. So here, let's put a checkbox. And here, if it's checked, it would mean that you've accomplished the goal. And if it's not, you're currently working on it. So here, you can create as well, for example, a select to select the year, and you could group your goals by years, and you could see how you've done over the years. The possibilities are really infinite on Notion. So here, let's call it just checkbox, yeah. All right, the template, the layout is already good here, so let's set it as default. All right, new page, new goal, goal 1. Goal 2. All right, it, and you can create as many goals as you have. It's super cool. It's all about food right now. And we want to display the checkbox. So before the name, now let's display it after for this case. And if the goal is completed, we are going only to check it. Great, right now let's hide all of this, and it looks super cool. We can add some spacing, and just it's really nice. We've done it in around 40 minutes, and I think you can be proud of this dashboard. It will follow you for years if you use it efficiently. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked, don't hesitate to comment to know if you succeeded to create this personal dashboard. There is my tutoring services on Notion. If you want to learn Notion, in the description, it's 60 minutes one-on-one classes with me, and I will make you learn. We will progress together and work together according to your goals and needs on Notion. So don't hesitate. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was Baptiste. Ciao.